Good evening. It's Tuesday, March 17th. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Maya Trabulsi. New laws, new rules, a new way of living right now during this COVID-19 pandemic. Every hour, each day, seem to come new mandates and requests to adjust everyday life. And right now, local leaders are announcing plans they want to implement. Let's begin our breaking news coverage with KPBS reporter Eric Anderson, who is live downtown right now. Eric?
I'm here just outside of City Hall and have been here most of the afternoon as the City Council debated what to do in the wake of this COVID-19 situation. We were listening just a few moments ago to San Diego Mayor Kevin Faulconer and Council President Georgette Gomez addressing the situation. And just a short while ago, the mayor was upstairs in the City Hall building telling the City Council that this is a serious situation. All bars and restaurants should be closed. Gatherings of more than 50 people are prohibited, and all city buildings have been closed to the public. He asked for and got the backing of the City Council to get his backing of his emergency recommendation. A little while earlier today, we had a chance to chat with Councilmember Scott Sherman, who talked to us a little bit about this unusual situation.
No, I think we're doing what we should so far. We're moving in the right direction. We've kind of mirrored what the protocols are. Most of the health issues are dealt with by the county, and they're taking their lead on that.
Now, Sherman was one of the council members in attendance who was dealing with the package of recommendations put together by Georgette Gomez. They included, among other things, a plan to stop evictions that are in progress, that called for the suspension of immigration enforcement activities, a recommendation for the federal government, relief from utility department late fees, relief from rents if you're renting from the Housing Commission, working with banks to stop any foreclosures that may be in progress. The city measures also approved involved enforcing earned sick leave and minimum wage ordinances in the city, delaying enforcement of the city's business tax certification fees, and moratoriums on vehicle impound fees and habitation fees. All of these things are designed to address some of the economic impacts of the city council trying to deal with COVID-19. They're also requesting to open hotel rooms to the homeless where possible. City officials say they want to do what they can. They want to be serious about the impact of the situation, and they want to make sure that city residents get the relief that they deserve when they need it. Live at City Hall, Eric Anderson, KPBS News.
Thanks so much, Eric. And the county gave another update on the coronavirus today, where we learned that health officials are investigating 2 clusters of cases. KPBS health reporter Taryn Mento is in the newsroom with the latest. Taryn.
Thanks, Maya. Now, the first is a group of 7 people who went on a ski trip to Colorado. 1 is hospitalized and the 6 others are at home. County officials say they put that cluster together quickly during patient interviews, but the second cluster required more work. That one involves 4 individuals who contracted the virus in the community. Dr. Eric McDonald says the county had to piece information together.
When one person comes in for care in one location, somebody comes in for care in another location, and you find out that they have the same social network and are able to link them that way. And that is
McDonald says that investigation is happening with the military because the cluster involves both active duty and civilian patients. McDonald also gave an update on those in federal quarantine at MCAS Miramar. More than 100 people have been sent home to their home states to continue their quarantine. 100 more were expected to return home today as well. The officials didn't have any update on cases in San Diego County. That remains at 55. There are also an additional 8 cases among local members of the military. Those cases are counted separately. Taryn Mento, KPBS News.
Thank you, Taryn. President Trump is calling for emergency economic aid that could reach $1 trillion. Nadia Romero has the latest behind the stimulus package.
Today, the Senate has taken up coronavirus legislation that includes free testing for those who need it, as well as paid sick leave and family medical leave for workers affected by the virus.
On Tuesday, the White House laid out an economic relief plan for people and businesses hit in the effort to slow the spread of the coronavirus. Republican senators are being urged to approve a stimulus package passed by the Democrat-controlled House.
These will be payments to small businesses. We've talked about loan guarantees to critical industries such as airlines and hotels. And we've also talked about a stimulus package to the American worker.
President Donald Trump previously voiced support for aid in the form of a payroll tax cut. But Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin says they're looking at a faster approach.
We're looking at sending checks to Americans immediately.
One industry not hurting: home delivery. As more people shop from home, Amazon is looking to fill 100,000 positions and increase the minimum wage for employees.
We're boosting employment by 100,000 in the way that we do for seasonal periods. As for the wage increase, that also is going to last at least through April.
In Washington, Nadia Romero, KPBS News.
Wall Street seemed to like what it heard from the president and Treasury Secretary today. Stocks rallied today as President Trump promised he's going big with his plans to help the economy get through the coronavirus outbreak. The Dow Jones Industrial Average ended the day up 5% following yesterday's nearly 3,000-point drop. The S&P 500 ended up 6%, not quite half of what it lost yesterday. A sailor at Naval Base Point Loma has tested positive for coronavirus. Another sailor at Navy Base San Diego tested positive on Friday. The Navy says both are in isolation, and anyone who had been in contact with those sailors are also in quarantine. Meanwhile, a quarantine site has been set up at Camp Pendleton. The facility is scheduled to open later this week. And according to the Marines, there are 16 rooms with the capacity for 2 people for each room. Many seniors in California can go days, sometimes weeks, without seeing or speaking to anyone. KPBS's Amita Sharma says California's new directive for seniors to stay home to protect themselves from the coronavirus is likely to intensify their loneliness.
About 20% of seniors in the United States are socially isolated, according to the AARP. As their health deteriorates and friends and relatives die off, many become increasingly secluded. Governor Gavin Newsom's recent call for seniors to self-quarantine is likely to add another layer of loneliness. UC San Diego's geriatric neuropsychiatrist, Philip Geste, says while Newsom's order is necessary to stem the coronavirus pandemic, there are consequences.
We must realize that they do have a major adverse impact on the seniors' well-being.
Geste said seniors who live alone will likely feel scared, helpless, sad, even panicked. Geste says now, more than ever, family, friends, and neighbors should be reaching out to seniors who are living alone.
If possible, using FaceTime or something like that, so that they can see their loved ones on the screen and won't feel isolated.
Geste added it's important for seniors at home to maintain their exercise regimen, even if they can't travel to the gym or go for walks outside. Amita Sharma, KPBS News.
News of the coronavirus and the measures taken to stop its spread can also take a toll on the mental health of children. Coming up, how you can talk to your kids about the outbreak in a way that will ease their worries. With San Diegans being laid off and out of work because of the coronavirus, local food banks are working to scale up their efforts. KPBS reporter Matt Hoffman says food providers are also looking at how to help seniors who are being asked to stay at home.
We are, at this moment, able to meet the needs of the people who are showing up at our distributions, but each day, as this progresses, the line is getting longer.
Feeding San Diego's CEO Vince Hall says they are seeing a spike in demand for food.
Many people have been living paycheck to paycheck, and now their hours have been scaled back or they've been laid off, and they find themselves suddenly in a cash crisis, making difficult decisions about, do I pay my rent or do I buy food?
To help meet the increased demand, Feeding San Diego is opening up emergency distribution sites. That's where people can get food without having to leave their cars, potentially limiting exposure to the virus.
Our supporters, our stakeholders are rallying. We're purchasing more food. We're upping our game to make sure we have enough products.
The San Diego Food Bank is also scaling up.
We're already feeding 350,000 people a month, and we may be feeding another couple 100,000 a month.
The food bank wants people to know while other stores might be closing, they aren't going anywhere.
We're getting a lot of calls from people that they think that the distribution sites are closing down. They are not.
Both organizations are working to prioritize getting food to seniors.
Many seniors are used to coming to places where meals are prepared and served. Now they are basically isolating themselves away from those sites.
Feeding San Diego is looking at increasing deliveries.
We are also talking with large charities across San Diego County to see what temporary home delivery services for seniors can we spin up in the next couple of days.
The food bank is also working through its partners to expand delivery for seniors and is taking extra steps to ensure safety.
We're doing no-touch distributions or what have you, so we're making sure that those distribution points are safe for those seniors.
Between the two organizations, there are hundreds of food distribution sites across the county. To find one near you or set up home delivery for a senior, officials say to call 211. Operators there will help you out. Matt Hoffman, KPBS News.
This morning, senior citizens got an hour to shop without the crowds at Northgate Gonzalez market stores across San Diego County.
There's a lot of people our age that, need that, are hesitant to go out to try to get what they really need. So, no, I think this is very helpful and useful.
Inside this market looks a lot like other grocery stores, empty shelves where there should be popular items like water bottles and toilet paper. But customers were happy to find many other items that they were looking for. All 8 of the Northgate market stores in our region will open 1 hour early each day for senior citizens and disabled customers. Those customers will be able to shop from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. and stores will be open to everyone else from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. To meet the huge demand from shoppers, Jimbo's grocery store is hiring at 5 local stores. They're looking to bring on between 60 and 75 employees. The positions are everything from cashiers to meat and produce clerks. Some of the jobs could become permanent. The stores are in Forest Ranch, Carlsbad, Carmel Valley, Escondido, and Horton Plaza. And you're encouraged to apply online at jimbos.com. We're following all the latest developments for you at kpbs.org. Just click on the Tracking COVID-19 link on our homepage, kpbs.org, and you'll be taken to a page with the latest school closures. There's event cancellations and all of our recent reports. You can find that right now at kpbs.org. Were it not for the coronavirus, this may have been our top story. Former Congressman Duncan Hunter was sentenced today in federal court to 11 months in prison for misusing campaign money. KPBS reporter Priya Sridhar has more.
It's the end of a long journey for disgraced former Congressman Duncan Hunter Jr. He entered the federal courthouse today with extra security measures due to the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. Hunter didn't want the sentencing to be delayed and thanked the judge for, quote, accomplishing the mission. Ultimately, he was sentenced to 11 months in prison and 3 years of supervisory probation.
11 months is a very fair sentence. We're very pleased with Judge Whalen's thoughtful consideration of all of the factors in this case. And as you know, an 11-month sentence was right in the middle of the range that the parties agreed to as part of the plea agreement.
Hunter was charged with 60 criminal counts for allegedly using $250,000 of campaign money on personal expenses. At first, Hunter denied the allegations, but in early December, he pleaded guilty to one of the counts. Today in court, Hunter said he accepted responsibility for his actions and asked the judge to take sympathy on Margaret Hunter, the mother of his children, who is also set to be sentenced on the same charges in early April. After the sentencing, Duncan Hunter Sr. had words for the press.
I'm Duncan Hunter Sr. I'm the father of the defendant, and I just wanted to give you my take on this as an attorney and as a 28-year member of Congress who'd been through all the battles. This was a political hit job.
Duncan Hunter Jr. is set to surrender himself to the court on May 29th to serve his time. Priya Sridhar, KPBS News.
A big change in the race for mayor in San Diego. Barbara Bree has jumped ahead of Sherman by just 9 votes. Both trail Todd Gloria, but that second spot determines who will advance to November's general election. Now, if Bree advances, that means 2 Democrats would be on the ballot. The county says 37,000 votes still need to be counted. The next update is expected later tonight. Despite restrictions on gatherings and events, some states are still holding elections today. Those states include Illinois, Arizona, and Florida. Now in Illinois, some polling stations were moved from nursing homes to other locations. Voting machines were being wiped down and hand sanitizer was provided.
I'm older, I'm 74, and I've got underlying conditions, so I'm in that target category for the virus. So I was worried about looking crazy, but then I thought, who cares, right? This is more important.
Ohio was scheduled to vote today, but the governor decided to postpone the election. No word yet on a new date. Major moves in the NFL today, starting with a former San Diego Charger picking his new team. ESPN reports Phillip Rivers will play for the Indianapolis Colts. Rivers recently left the Chargers after 16 seasons. Also today, Tom Brady announced he will not return to the New England Patriots. The Chargers are seen as a potential match for him in LA. We had a few scattered showers today, but a heavier downpour is expected across the county over the next 2 days. Mark Mancuso has our forecast.
Good evening. Here's a look at our weather headlines. Cool air continues with a few showers. Snow light in the mountains up above 4,000 feet. Here's the upper trough that's going to take its sweet time moving across, so we'll still stay in the showery regime. Looking at the futurecast for you, well, you can see there's a few showers at times into Wednesday, and then right into early Thursday we could see a shower or two, and a little touch of snow up in the mountains. But any precipitation that does fall rather light. Here's our lightest precipitation in this light shade of green, so perhaps 1/10 of an inch of rain here, maybe an additional 1 to 3 inches in the mountains. Tonight it's kind of cool. Mount Laguna is down to 28, Ramona 38, Oceanside is at 42. Wednesday, well, deep moisture spreads off to the northeast. We'll stay cool, more showers around. Mount Laguna 37, Ramona 53. Oceanside at 61 and Campos around 46. Looking ahead, you will dry it out for the end of the week before another storm drops down the coast. Looks like it'll arrive here around Sunday. So here's our extended forecast along the coast. Some showers around, then we'll dry it out, touch milder as we take you into the weekend. Showers could return on Sunday. Inland areas, cool with the showers, and then a little more sunshine, a little milder. Sunday, we see the precipitation coming back. Showers are back. And in the mountains, a little bit nippy here. Temperatures staying in the 30s the next couple of days. And there could be showers of rain and some snow. And then by the weekend, we start to see the weather conditions go downhill. Could see a little bit more wet and white weather with that next storm system. It looks like another cold storm. And then in the desert, some showers, then drier, a little milder, and then a few showers possible by Sunday. And for KPBS News, I'm meteorologist Mark Mancuso.
While most school districts, including San Diego Unified, were closed as part of the larger effort to slow the spread of the coronavirus, daycares across the city remained open. KPBS reporter Claire Tregesser talked to parents and care providers about whether kids should be in daycare.
James McCann lives with his parents in University Heights. The 3-year-old's preschool was still open as of Monday, but his mom, Elizabeth McCann, is worried about whether it's smart to send him.
Kids don't seem to be getting this, or at least they don't get symptoms very bad, but obviously they can still pick up the virus and spread it around, and, you know, little kids are little petri dishes anyway.
Daycares and preschools are able to make their own decisions about whether to close or remain open. They have information, but no direct guidance from county and state agencies.
minute by minute at this point.
Holly Weber, who owns and runs Magic Hour Preschool in Mira Mesa, says she is staying open for now, but is constantly evaluating whether to close. If someone in her center tests positive for the disease, she would close, she said. Otherwise, she's looking to government agencies for guidance. If her daycare does close, it would financially devastate her and her employees.
This business supports 12 households. I'm not sure how we could recover from that.
As schools make those decisions, parents like McCann are preparing to entertain toddlers at home while trying to get some work done. Claire Tregesser, KPBS News.
And kids at home from school may think they get to enjoy a long vacation, but San Diego educators want them to stay engaged with education as much as possible. A new partnership between KPBS and the San Diego Unified School District has created resources that all kids can access, and they don't have to have a computer or internet to get it. It's called AtHome Learning, where children matter. Just by turning on the TV to KPBS2 or any of the channels on your screen, students can watch PBS content designed by their grade level on a block schedule. Grades pre-K through 3rd grade can watch from 6 to 8 a.m. Grades 4 through 8 can watch from 8 to 1 p.m. And high school content will be on from 1 to 6 p.m. There's also an online library that can be accessed on any smartphone, tablet, or computer at pbslearningmedia.org. From at-home education to streaming work meetings in the wake of the pandemic, the world is moving online as much as possible, and that also includes baby animals, just as you see. Helen Woodward Animal Center wants to keep kids as enriched as possible by streaming baby animals on their website for 6 hours a day. So from 9 to 3, Monday through Friday, the animal shelter will live stream a new baby animal each hour. The center will be closed to the public until April 6th. Coronavirus concerns can take a toll on mental health, especially for kids. Experts say there are things parents can do to ease their children's worries. Mandy Gaither has more.
As COVID-19 continues to spread across the U.S., so does anxiety. That's why Dr. Jamie Howard, a clinical psychologist at the Child Mind Institute, says talking to children about what's happening is important.
A lot of times kids' minds will go to all sorts of different places that are very scary and dangerous and not necessarily based on the facts.
Howard says parents can reassure their children by being calm themselves.
When parents appear anxious, their kids really vibe off of that. And then they think, wow, this is really overwhelming or scary. My mom or dad is really scared and upset about this. So if we can model calm, that's one of the most important things that we can do.
While keeping your distance from others is suggested, it's important to keep in touch with friends and family you don't live with through calls or video chats.
So that this is more of a physical distancing rather than a true social distancing.
Keep a routine, eat meals at regular times, and encourage playtime if possible in the backyard with some fresh air.
We want to create some normalcy within this period that is so abnormal.
For today's Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Uber and Lyft are making changes to help slow the spread of coronavirus. Uber is suspending its pool service option in the U.S. and Canada. That option allows you to split the cost of your ride with a stranger who is heading in the same direction. Lyft is pausing its shared rides across all markets, which is similar to service to Uber's pool. Uber is also asking riders to only travel when necessary. The two largest movie theater chains in the country are closing amid the outbreak. AMC and Regal Entertainment announced the changes yesterday. AMC had initially tried to stay open by restricting attendance to no more than 50 people. Hollywood has responded to theaters closing by releasing new movies online. Universal Pictures says starting on Friday, The Invisible Man, The Hunt, and Emma will be available on demand. Trolls World Tour will be available starting next month. It's times like these that we could all use a little bit of good news. In Houston, a customer surprised restaurant servers with a $9,400 tip.
This is beyond. I mean, I don't even have words for it. I just really don't. It doesn't surprise me because they're so kind, they're generous people, they always have been.
The big tip at Irma's Southwest came after the county announced a mandatory shutdown of bars and nightclubs. The restaurant says the staff will split the money, with each worker getting about $300. Some suggesting one thing you can do to help your favorite locally owned restaurants here at home is purchase gift cards that you can use later.
I'm Judy Woodruff. Tonight on the NewsHour, at war with the pandemic, how the United States is responding from staying at home to government efforts to stem the crisis. Coming up at 7 after Evening Edition on KPBS.
Financially troubled Palomar College was recently assigned a fiscal monitor to oversee the school's budget. iNewsSource investigative reporter Jennifer Bowman has more.
Palomar College is under an urgent warning. If its spending practices don't change, the school will go broke in 2 years. The school is reeling from a troubling state audit and the recent resignation of its president. It's now one of just 2 college districts in California with a fiscal monitor. Last year, auditors said Palomar had a growing deficit and no plan to solve it. The school would have to borrow over $6 million to remain solvent. Here's Michelle Giacomini with the state auditing team talking to California community college leaders about Palomar's money problems.
That's very dire. That's the part that worries me about Palomar. Not that it's insurmountable, but the clock is really ticking on this one.
By next month, Palomar will submit an annual report to its accrediting agency. That report will be used to determine the college's fiscal health. For KPBS, I'm iNewsSource investigative reporter Jennifer Bowman.
And we want to bring you up to date on some top stories. Among them, National City will close all city facilities starting tomorrow. In San Diego, the City Council approved a formal state of emergency that can last up to 30 days. The city is also banning evictions as long as the state of emergency is in place. The County of San Diego announced it is investigating 2 clusters of COVID-19 cases. Among the 55 confirmed cases, one is a cluster of 4 individuals who contracted the virus through community spread. Some of the individuals are active duty service members who are known to each other. The other cluster is a group of 7 people who went on a ski trip to Colorado. President Trump is promising to go big with an economic relief plan for people and businesses hit by the coronavirus outbreak. The plan laid out by the White House could come with a nearly $1 trillion price tag. Republican senators are being urged to approve the stimulus package passed by the Democratic-controlled House. As always, you can find tonight's stories on our website, kpbs.org/evening edition. Thank you for joining us. Have a good evening.